like a Hellcat.
Hello and welcome back to the channel where once again it's time for some more pickups. Now I drove to Cheltenham today. It was a toss-up between going to Cheltenham or Worcester because they were the CEX stores closest to me that had some of the games that I've been looking for basically on PS3 and 360. I've kind of made a favourites list on the CEX app and I was trying to figure out which store would be best to try and get most of them. Cheltenham had far more games in stock, but two of the games I wanted it didn't have. Worcester had those two games and a few of my others, but it only had one copy of each one. So you're kind of taking a chance that it's going to be a decent condition one. So I actually chose to go to Cheltenham in the end, basically because they had over 300 PS3 games and 300 Xbox 360 games in stock. But on to CEX in a minute. First of all, I nipped in Primark because I had my daughter with me and they had these fantastic plushy style pillows. We got Yoda, we got Stitch, that's for my daughter, my youngest daughter. And we had a Naruto one as well. These were all reduced to a meager £2. So I picked up all three because I thought, you know what, for £2 reduced from £9, they're actually really decent. So that was that. Headed into CEX, had my wish list of games basically. And I thought, because, you know, they've got so much stock in there, I'm guaranteed to come away with pretty much all of what I want. Well, I did kind of get most of what I want in all fairness. Going to start with PS2 first. Got another Pro Evolution game. I said I wanted to try and get them all on the PS2. It's going to start easy and I've got all the easy ones. Then it's going to get harder because A, they get more expensive, and B, you never see them in the shops. I got Pro Evolution Soccer 5 today, 50p. Now, I didn't notice until after I got out the shop, he'd put the Platinum disc in this and it looked like somebody had used a cheese grater on it on both sides. It looked terrific. I'd have been amazed if it had worked. So I went back in, I said, oh, you know, I don't want to drive home and find out it doesn't work. So you could just swap the disc. You know, I know it's only a 50p game, but thankfully he swapped it and he put the correct non-platinum version in. So that was okay. So 50p, that's ticked off Pro Evolutions 1 to 6. And then I've got 2008 because I've still got my copy from what I bought brand new on release. And then it's 2009 onwards that I don't have on the PS2. Some of them I have had at points. You know, like I said, I did have PES 2014. I just wish I'd never sold it. Next one wasn't on my hit list, but they had it in there. Now, I used to have this game, and I don't know where it went. I don't know if I lost it when I moved here or something, but it is Lord of the Rings, The Third Age. This is a really good RPG. Even if you don't like Lord of the Rings, I really enjoyed playing this game, and I've spoke about it, I think, once before on the channel. It's complete, it's fantastic. And now this is like an original story with different characters that runs alongside the events of the film. And it was just so good. I was so surprised when I played this, obviously when it came out years ago. Genuinely decent, and I will actually definitely play that at some point in the future again. Really nice condition as well, that one. Absolutely spot on. Then we're going to jump on to PS3 We're going to go for God of War 3. Now, I've never played any of the God of War games. Now, I know everybody said they're amazing, so I thought, you know what, I will get them now. Now, God of War 3 is pretty cheap at £6. I think it's God of War 1 and 2, the HD collection, that is quite pricey on the PS3. Now, I'm assuming the original two on the PS2 aren't very expensive. They didn't have either of those in stock. That one's complete. Disc is reasonably good on that one as well, so I won't play that, though, until I've played the other two first. So whether I get them on the PS2 and play them on there, or whether I do bite the bullet and buy the HD collection, but I'm pretty sure it's like £40 or something, I think. I'll stick it up there anyway so you can see it. I'm pretty sure, I guess it's around about that kind of price. Thankfully, I did get Assassin's Creed Revelations today, the 2-disc edition. Now, I had the same problem here, though, in Cheltenham. 1 disc, 2 disc. The guy that tried to serve me just picked up a random one with 1 disc and he was going to put it in, and I said, oh, that's the 2-disc version, so could you see if you've got both discs? He didn't complain, unlike the woman in, where did I say it was, Cambran, who tried to give me loads of excuses why they supposedly didn't have any of the 2 discs, the second disc for any of them. He just went and looked through and found it, put it in, no problem at all. So that's nice. That's in really nice condition too. I like the front cover for this one. I really do think it's quite nice. That was £1. That's a bargain at £1. I think that's fantastic. Then we go on to 360 games. Now, first one wasn't on my list, but I thought, you know what? I've never played through this game really at all. It is really cheap. It's Elder Scrolls for oblivion now. I didn't notice until I'd left the shop as well. He put the Classics disc in. Now, on the 360, they're not that dissimilar. It's just at the top. And to be honest, I couldn't be bothered to go back in again and cause a fuss. I felt like I'd been such a pain pointing out that it was a 2-disc edition of a game, getting the other disc swapped for Pro Evo. I just thought, you know what? I'll just take it because I hate feeling like a pain. Again, though, it comes down to the staff just not being that well trained and not being bothered about the kind of item they're giving you, whether they're giving you the right item for the right box or the right number of discs. It is frustrating, and I've said this point multiple times. I feel like the staff just need to be trained properly. You know, I really do. It doesn't matter what store you go in as well. It just seems to be the same all over the place. Now, the final game I picked up was one of the other games I had on my hit list. I got Devil May Cry 4 last time I was in CEX, and this time I did get the Devil May Cry HD collection. They had one copy in stock on the 360, £8, fully complete, no mangled booklet or anything like that with this one, so that is good. So now I can go through those one at a time. They're all supposed to be good as far as I know, so that is another decent collection. Now, other things I want to say about Cheltenham CEX is it's nowhere near as big as I thought it would be. I thought Cheltenham being like a really big town, it's going to be a big store. It wasn't very big, but they did have lots of certain format games for like lots of PS3, lots of 360, quite a lot of Wii, quite a lot of PS2 as well. But without a doubt, this was the worst store I have ever been in for reprinted covers. I just could not believe it. It was horrific. Especially PS3, quite a lot of 360, reprinted covers everywhere. And they weren't even the games that you'd think people have tried and stole the box for, more expensive ones. They were cheap. Lots of them were just cheaper titles. They're never going to sell those games now. Without the official covers, they didn't have manuals in these ones either. They're not going to ever sell. You can't send them out on online orders. No one is ever going to buy them willingly in the shop. What they need to do with those, I think, is just mark them down to like 10p, put them in a basket or something at the front of the shop. No one's going to buy them, the dirt cheap ones. And even the more expensive ones, no one's going to buy those either, because for the more expensive price, you want, you know, the authentic covers, manuals and everything. So you're kind of screwed as soon as you've got these reprinted covers floating around. I just feel like you're going to be stuck with them, not going to get rid of them. Other than that, Cheltenham was okay, you know, but again, the guy serving me probably just wasn't that fussed on what discs he was giving me and stuff. Clearly didn't check the Pro Evolution disc, because he would have never, well, I would have hoped not, if he'd have not given it me, if he'd have actually looked at it, because it was horrific, you know. But I did get some of the games I wanted, so it's not going to be CEX that I'm probably desperate to go back to at some point in the future. I was thinking actually about, out of all the ones local to me, you know, I've got Hereford, Gloucester, Cumbrian, Worcester and Cheltenham. Then I think Stroud's a bit further away. I've never been to that one. I actually think Hereford is probably the best one out of all of them. Now, I've had crap times at Hereford before as well, a few years back, but recently it's been okay. You know, Gloucester in terms of the service is okay, but the quality of the stuff they've got, it's just so bad, so beat up, you know, so much water damage stock, and the stuff with no manuals and low stock levels for different formats. So I actually think out of all my local ones, Hereford may well be the best one. What are your thoughts on my pickups today? Which one do you think is the best? If I'm going to have to pick one, I'm going to say the Devil May Cry HD collection is going to be the best out of all of them. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's the best one out of all, and put it that way, because I know these games are meant to be pretty good. That is all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back in the near future with some more videos. Goodbye for now.